So you want to become smart. Not the spends 8 hours solving math proofs for fun smart. Not the has 5 degrees and still can't cook rice smart. I mean the actually useful, quietly dangerous, money-making, conversation-owning smart. Good news? Becoming smart is way easier than you've been told. In fact, it's so easy it feels like cheating. See, most people think that to become smart you need to torture yourself for years. 12 years of school, 4 years of college, 6 years of grad school. Student debt so large it becomes a personality trait. And in the end, you're broke, burnt out, and still Googling how to learn faster. If you ask the internet, it'll tell you things like, eat more blueberries, they're brain food, listen to Mozart while meditating, buy a fancy planner, or my personal favorite, stare at a wall and visualize your goals. Okay, but when do I actually get smart? Here's the truth. Being smart isn't about knowing everything. It's about learning better than 90% of people and applying it faster. And guess what? You already have everything you need. Your brain is overpowered, even if you don't feel like it. Imagine you were born as a squirrel. You'd spend your whole life looking for nuts and avoiding hawks. But you have thumbs. You can write essays, do calculus, and understand memes. You're a biological cheat code. Even if you've been told you're not naturally smart, forget it. Smart isn't genetics. It's systems. It's habits. It's tactics. Stop memorizing. Start using. Here's a wild idea. You don't remember what you don't use. Think about it. You've read things like, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell 400 times. But do you remember how to jumpstart a car? How to negotiate your rent? How to stop being awkward in small talk? Your brain remembers what it thinks is important, and it only thinks something is important if you actually use it. So if you want to become smart, learn something, then use it immediately. If you read a chapter about cleaning, go clean a room. Any room, even your enemy's room. The act of doing teaches your brain, hey, this info is useful, let's keep it. This is called active recall, and it's like performance-enhancing drugs for your brain. Except it's free and legal. Fiction isn't useless, it's a brain hack. You know what's underrated? Reading fiction. No, seriously. While everyone's trying to finish Atomic Habits for the 3rd time, fiction readers are out here building better vocab, understanding emotions, and reading 3 times faster. Want to become emotionally smart? Read characters. Want to sound smart in conversations? Read dialogue? Want to secretly feel like you have friends? Yup, read more fiction. Non-fiction equals secret weapon, if you know how to use it. Non-fiction is the sniper rifle of intelligence. Pick any topic you want to be smart about. Psychology, finance, relationships, car repair. Google a book on it, and boom. You now know more than 90% of people. You don't need to read all the popular top 10 self-help books. Pick niche books that teach useful skills. Want to learn negotiation? Read Chris Voss. Want to understand people? Read Dale Carnegie. Want to clean like a pro? There's a book for that too. And no, you don't need to pay $17.99 for each one. There may or may not be certain websites where books just fall into your lap. By accident, of course. Make the information stick. Let's say you just read something interesting. Now what? 3 ways to lock it in. 1. Teach it to someone else. Nothing screams, I get this, louder than explaining it without sounding like a jerk. 2. Create a fake test in your mind. Ask, if someone quizzed me on this right now, could I explain it without notes? 3. Imagine yourself using it. Picture this. You're in a parking lot. Car won't start. No one's around. Now visualize every step of jump-starting the car like it's a scene in a movie. That imagination, it tricks your brain into thinking it already used the knowledge, which makes it stick like super glue. Practice questions. Highlighting stuff. Studying doesn't mean highlighting every sentence in neon yellow. That's called feeling productive, not actually learning. Want to study smarter? Use practice questions. They simulate real-life moments when you'll need the info. Can't find practice questions? Make them. Pretend your life depends on it. Example. Name the 4 stages of sleep or your dog forgets who you are. Yes, it's silly, but your brain will remember it. Brains love stakes. The power of textbooks. Yes, really. Textbooks get a bad rep, but they're secretly S-tier content. No fluff, no motivational quotes. No, before you read this chapter, drink some tea and center yourself. Just chapter. Information, practice. Done. They're built to make you smart, fast, and sure, they're dense, but if you want to level up in any subject, math, biology, marketing, even cooking, textbooks will push you harder than YouTube ever will. Still love you, YouTube. You don't need to be a nerd. Just be curious. You don't have to be that guy quoting Plato at parties. You don't need to win every debate. You don't need to pretend you enjoy 400-page economics books. You just need curiosity. A tiny spark of, I wonder how that works. Ask dumb questions. Go down weird rabbit holes. Start reading the manual. Click on that Wikipedia link. Then another, then another. That's the real secret to being smart. Not school, not IQ, not fancy apps, just consistent curiosity. Sounding smart versus being smart. Here's a final hack. Don't try to sound smart. Try to be helpful. People respect intelligence, sure, but they remember value. If you can explain a complicated thing in a simple, friendly way, you win. No one wants to be corrected with a, well, actually. Instead, say, it's funny, I just read something about that the other day. Teach without preaching, share without showing off. And suddenly, people start calling you smart. Weird how that works. So yeah, becoming smart, totally doable. Read, use, practice, repeat. Sound curious, not cocky. And most importantly, never stop learning stuff just because it's not in the school syllabus. And if all else fails, at least you'll be the smartest person in your friend group when the car won't start. If this helped, do your part in funding the next brain-enhancing episode by accidentally clicking subscribe. And hey, stay curious.